Hello, I'm AppyXToyCat, and bad news, the answer to this question is yes, because a Mojang spokesperson has just confirmed that starting in February as part of our compliance program for the UK Online Safety Act, and to ensure we're continuing to provide safe and age-appropriate experiences for our players, all Minecraft players in the UK with adult accounts will be required to verify their age as at least 18 years old. Accounts that do not complete the age verification process will have limited access to social features. This is something you understandably have a lot of questions about, and so let's go into all of those today, because this is Q&A Saturday, your weekly series where we answer all of the big Minecraft questions. And this week there are big questions about Fortnite and Hightail, but of course the big one is, what is the deal with this age verification? Well, if you live in one of the regions of the world which requires this, it's not just the UK, that's just the biggest one, then what is going to start happening is you will need to verify your age, and if you do not do so, you will lose access to certain Minecraft social features. Now, what exactly those features are haven't been clarified, because all Minecraft are doing here are jumping aboard the Xbox bandwagon. They've been talking about this for a while, as indeed Ellie points out here, although it is very ridiculous because, as he says, I've had my Xbox account since 2008 and I've bought Minecraft since 2011, so if they can't work out that I'm at least 18, assuming I bought Minecraft when I was free, then I think that they're doing something a little wrong. But nope, instead of this being the case, you are going to lose access to some unknown amount of social features. On Xbox, they've clarified that the way it works is you'll still be able to play with Xbox friends. You'll be limited to friends only for voice and text, party functionality and game invites, as well as user-generated content, and you won't be able to use it all looking for groups or custom clubs. I assume the Minecraft equivalent is you'd only be able to join friends in their games. You'd have to add someone first before joining their game, and that sort of feature. It hasn't been clarified though, because Minecraft have not made the official announcement, besides this one from the spokesperson, which means that all we know is you will need to verify your age, and just having an account for 18 years doesn't count as making you 18, and so what do you need to do? Well, you need to use Yoti. Yoti is our trusted age verification partner. They provide secure, privacy-first verification services used across gaming, social media, and e-commerce experiences. Now, the good side of that is that your service, be that social media, or in this case Xbox and Minecraft, are not going to see your government ID or your selfie directly, and instead they'll just get a thumbs up from Yoti, basically. But the downside of this is that when it comes to third-party verification, you are now trusting another party with your data, and the concern around this is that we've saw, for example, with Discord, 70,000 government-issued IDs were leaked that were used for age verification processes. That did happen last year, and there's always a chance of this going down, and so what I would say is the Electronic Frontier Foundation has a pretty clear ruling on this, that unfortunately it should be clear by now that none of the age verification options are perfect in terms of protecting information, providing access to everyone, and safely handling sensitive data, which is just one of the reasons the EFS is against age gating mandates and is working to stop and overturn them across the United States and around the world. Indeed, this is a dark corner. For me, this is just like, it goes against the internet I believe in. I'm not going to be handing my data over to Xbox. I'm sorry, you can't have my government ID. That's not for you. That's not what I'll be using to play my video games. And so what will happen to my account is unclear right now. I don't blame anyone who just says, look, I'll give them a selfie. What are they going to do with that? If that is for you, then totally fine. I think that is the fastest way forward. I do think that this being required sucks, but also you can't really blame Mojang. You can blame the UK government and other governments around the world, which then I would then put the blame a step further and say, well, the reason that had to be put into place is because of how social media decided to run itself. And then we could go a step further and say, well, the only reason that social media was ever a bad place for under 18s is because their parents weren't monitoring them when they're on it, right? They were just leaving them and saying, thank God they're leaving me alone. And so who do I really think is going to be saved here? Well, hopefully some number of children will now be exposed to less bad things. I do think that is an important, I hate to say it because, like protecting children is used to curtail so many rights, I think. But I do hate to say that I do think that it is probably good for the, some number of children's internet experience. But I think that there are much better ways to do it than this. And I think that it's a real shame that it's come to this. But yeah, I shan't be providing my ID. I'll give you an update when this comes into effect, because I'm curious as to what social features will go missing from my account. I'm curious to see how that looks and everything, so we'll see how that does go. But in the meantime, let's get back to the video, because as you probably are aware at this point, Hytale came out this week. It's a game, you know, I don't know if you've heard of it, Hytale, but apparently it's a game that looks like Minecraft in Fortnite, and that's the reason Control-Shift-C does not like it. But to Control-Shift-V here, to go the opposite of you, I'm going to say that the Minecraft and Fortnite vibe is surprisingly appealing, and the reason I know it's appealing is because of this leak. You might have seen this show up on Reddit, it got a lot of upvotes, and it always annoys me when people like talk about something like this by being, look, I saw a news place post about this by just sharing an image of Minecraft and an image of the Fortnite logo. That's not how proof works. So if you're curious, the proof behind this is from Adira, who says, rumor, there is info that a Fortnite x Minecraft is in development. If this collab comes, it is not for many months, and it is possible for a Chapter 7. Adira does seem like they are a commonly known Fortnite leaker, and they do seem to have a decent reputation rate, but even they say that they learn all info slowly with many sources, and they only share if they are 90% confident or more, meaning that there is, in their view, at least a 90% chance that this is coming during Chapter 7, and so is that going to happen? I would be fascinated if so. I would love to play Minecraft in Fortnite, not because I like Fortnite, but because I like Minecraft and want to be, I think Lego Fortnite was a lot of fun, although, you know, for what it's worth, a lot of people have made that negative comparison, like, so far, it looks like Hytale will fall off within 2 weeks, just like how Lego Fortnite did. Oh man, do you remember actually? Yeah, there was like a big commit. A lot of people were like, yeah, Lego Fortnite is my game. This is the only one I'm playing from now on. Like, maybe some of those people are still playing, but the majority are like, yeah, I don't think I've loaded that up in a long time. I think this is a big problem with games inside of a game, and so I would say, actually, let's not pretend that Hytale is that yet. It might be, but Hytale did just wake up from a multi-year coma, so let's let it have the spotlight, let's see what it does of it, and let's see if they can make that sustainable long-term game that is more like the Fortnite than the Lego Fortnite, that is more like the Minecraft than the, I don't know, Realism Craft, which, sorry, RL Craft is the better example, which got an update, but which sadly is always going to lose interest compared to the main thing, which I think is kind of sad. Speaking of kind of sad, let's go on to the opposite of that, because Josh Jones says Toycat single-handedly getting us the victor's coat by mining 4.25 billion stone blocks for the subway tunnel, and you know what fun is fun? I actually did mine the better part of 50,000 stone blocks just for the big pyramid that I'm making, actually finishing making it for today. It's the last day you can get the IBX Toycat Creo card. That's right, there's no more extensions possible. After today, we will start the process of signing them and shipping them and all that stuff. So if you would like to get your hands on one, creocards.com/IBXToycat, and I'll be finishing the pyramid at the same time. But yeah, the first point to go back to it is that yes, we now have confirmation that we did win the Minecraft challenge. So this is crazy because, like I've clarified before, I don't know, we can't see any progress on these challenges, and every single one of them has been won so far. And so is it that we're actually doing these, or do we get close enough and Mojang says, yeah, sure? I don't know for sure if we even win it by a lot, but either way, if you mined a single stone or killed a single mob last weekend, then you have your hands on this. If you didn't do that, then clearly you missed my Q&A Saturday, and consider subscribing with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on fun cosmetics like that. But speaking of cosmetics, wait, did they finally put the settings menu back where it belongs and then put add-ons below it? If so, then yay, Minecraft, Microsharp, what is that even, finally cares about players' feedback again, and yes, as of the next update, 26.0, you'll actually find that the settings button and the add-ons button can exist side by side rather than going back to the old way. You know, for some reason, Minecraft figured, you know what players would really love? If hitting settings was a tiny button, but there was a giant buy things button at all time. And that's something I'm glad they've taken steps to remedy. I think the new UI in general is a really good sign, and Qtcell said, wait, did these people steal that UI design from Deece UI by It's Rio, or did they hire the guy himself to make the UI? So I hadn't heard of this, but Deece UI is a pack with 500,000 downloads for Bedrock, so give some real credit here. Well, actually, is this for Bedrock? It is for Bedrock. But this is a pack that has 500,000 downloads, and it actually does kind of look similar. However, as it turns out, those 500,000 downloads were in the last 6 months. And All UI, again, as crazy as this to say, the All UI, the UI that is now about half done, has actually been in development for 3 and a bit years. Well, it's been in its current development for 3 and a bit years. It's actually been in development of some form for closer to 8, and that is ridiculous, yes, but that's the fun thing about Minecraft UI design. In the year of 2029, if things go well, we'll finally have that UI, and they'll be, honestly, I would recommend getting yourself a third-party UI if you want to enjoy it. And so, is Dish UI a good one? Well, according to one comment, yes. Speaking of comments saying yes, I want to go back into the Hytale thing, because I have been getting a lot of comments on my Hytale videos saying, so are you a Hytale creator now? And obviously the answer is no, but I also got one saying, hey Toycat, what's your creator code for Hytale? Never mind, it's Toycat. And I just wanted to correct this, because I think I jokingly said use code Toycat because I won't get anything, but that seems to have confused some people. So here was my opinion. I wanted to give you my real take on the game, and the only way for that to be truly unbiased and free of conflict of interest, you know, the honesty vibe that I really think is important for this channel, the only way I could do that is if I didn't have a creator code. If I signed up for one before the game even launched and we knew what it was, I would be getting a commission, a cut, an incentive to sell you on a game that I didn't know if it was good. We can talk about screenshots all we like, but now that Hytale is out here, I do think it is, better than expected. I think it's got some weak areas it really needs to improve on, but now that it's out here, I think it's fine, and I will totally apply for a code, for all the microtransactions and stuff. And sure, that means I lost out on revenue, and in a way, that's a privilege to be able to do that just to make more honest content, but I think that it's the most important thing. I think that if I have such a clear conflict of interest that I say, so how good is this game, before immediately saying, by the way, I'll make money if you buy it, so I have an interest in saying it's great, that just didn't sit right with me. On the day that it came out, every Minecraft streamer was playing Hytale, and something like 30% of them were saying, this is the Minecraft killer, and I think that that opinion can't be taken seriously if you have a serious interest in it being there. If you're curious, Hytale codes give you 5% of the sales price if someone buys it, so that only works out to like $1 per sale, but given we've seen somewhere in the millions of copies sold, no doubt there are some creators who have, done pretty well from that, but I think personally that's fine as long as you aren't going to try and then be a real authority on whether you should buy it. And I think that some people actually do come to this channel to get a real vibe of like, is this good? Is that bad? For example, is it actually worth mining a block last weekend? I think the answer was yes. Is it worth verifying your ID? I think the answer is certainly no for now until we see how this one goes. Is it worth, going into the next update? Is it going to be a good one? Well, we find out every single Tuesday when there's an interesting beta that releases. That is a part of what this channel is about, and maybe it's a weird part, maybe it's a silly part, maybe, the honesty is not as important as the flashiness that some people choose, but it is the value that is important to me. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow for some GeoGuessr, but in Minecraft. We really did decide to do it, and I think it went incredibly fun. So it'll be like a fun Seed Sunday replacement. But see you then. Bye.